Good morning. Man, I really wish I was home to cover that fight. I wish I could have been home to watch that fight live with you guys. I did watch it, but I wasn't home. I just wanted y'all to see my reaction to that. Oh man, that knockout was vicious. You know, uh, knockouts like that, moments like that in this sport is a reminder of why we are here. As much as let me speak for myself, as much as I hate this sport sometimes because of the politics and the fact that we really, for the most part, we don't get the fights that we want to see, especially in the heavyweight division. I mean, we do get good fights, but we're not getting the fights that we absolutely want. You know, guys, normally these days, especially like the upper elites, don't fight each other at the right time. You know, a lot of fighters usually want to take the challenge when it's safe. But that is a reminder of why we're here and we're never going anywhere because of the drama of this sport. Now, that knockout wasn't a upset. Let's be very clear, and I said this yesterday. I expressed to you guys how dangerous Povetkin is for Dillian Whyte. Much more dangerous than Oscar Rivas. I know a lot of people just viewed Povetkin as being past it. He's definitely not in his prime, but again, he's here and he's still relevant because of his skills. You know, he doesn't have the reflexes and the athleticism, and he doesn't have the punch volume that other heavyweights have. But he has the power in both hands and the skills to bring a good fight and match up well against any heavyweight. You know? And we saw that last night. It doesn't matter Dillian Whyte was a top contender or number one double WBC guy. All of that got thrown out the window in one shot. It wasn't an upset, but it was extremely shocking because of the timing of the knockout. Dillian Whyte was in full control at that point. He was in full control. After that fourth round, he had just dropped Povetkin. And I'm watching the fourth round and I say, maybe Povetkin is really past. Because I picked Whyte to win, but I wasn't expecting Whyte to do so well early. Like even AJ didn't do that well against Povetkin that early. You know? AJ, it took some time for AJ to loosen up and start, collecting rounds consistently in their fight. Dillian Whyte dropped Povetkin twice in the fourth round. But Povetkin's a tough dude, and both knockdowns were kind of like a flash knockdown. He wasn't really hurt that bad. But I like what Whyte was doing. I think the first round, I think he was a little stiff. I gave Povetkin the first round. But Dillian Whyte was doing everything that I wanted to see, especially he was going to the body as well. He was being very physical. Um, and I liked what he was doing. And it just wasn't enough. Because in the heavyweight division, it doesn't matter how good you're doing. If the fight is still on, you're still in danger. Especially when you're fighting a guy that has power in both hands like that. I think one of you guys left a comment in my review, not my review, but my breakdown before the fight. This is was talking about Povetkin's uppercut, and that's exactly what he did. He has the left hook, he has the right hand, he has the uppercut. Once he's in your space, he's dangerous. Those combinations are vicious, man. Now look, I was gonna actually do a video talking about the WBC, Tyson Fury, and all this mess. With Dillian Whyte still not getting his title shot. I'm not gonna do it at this point because this is gonna be a setback. Even if he were to win the rematch, and he wants a rematch. He wants the rematch. Of course, there's a rematch clause. It seems like there's a rematch clause in every single fight at this point. Anyone that has some kind of name has a rematch clause. But if anybody is deserving of a rematch, I say Dillian Whyte is. Only because he's been winning for such a long time. And he's been at the top of the WBC rankings for such a long time without getting an actual title shot. I think if anybody deserves a chance to win their title back or their position as a contender back, is Dillian Whyte. One setback he shouldn't get drowned. So I'm cool with him rematching. But at the end of the day, it's still a setback. I don't know how much of a setback. I don't know if the WBC is still going to put pressure on the winner, Fury and Wilder, or Fury for that hand, because WBC has been switching it up. I don't know when Wilder and Fury are going to actually fight. I know there was a point where they were actually putting pressure on Tyson Fury. But it seems like the WBC is just gonna not really make any moves until that fight goes down, which is, I don't know whenever we're gonna see that fight. Probably in 2021. Those guys definitely don't want to have the fight without an audience. It is what it is. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be a setback. If Dillian Whyte is to win the rematch, I would still like to see him get a shot. If Povetkin wins again, I wouldn't mind seeing him get a shot. It's well deserved. You beat Dillian Whyte and you knocked him out in 4 rounds. You know, it is what it is. Listen, at this point, there's so many games that's just been played in this division specifically. This division and the welterweight division it seems like they're the worst. You know, Wilder's lost. AJ lost. Fury actually almost lost. You know, I was gonna say Fury almost lost to Otto Wallin. If you if the top heavyweights actually fought each other like consistently, like they should, like the top contenders and the top, like the champions, they will all have losses. There's not one heavyweight that I see that I could see sweeping the whole division. Now Fury could possibly do it. I know AJ lost, and that was somewhat of an upset. That was an upset, but a lot of people believe that he wasn't in his right mind, which there's probably a lot of truth to that. But regardless, I'm not sure if any of these heavyweights actually sweep everyone. You know, Fury. If Fury wasn't Fury, there was a good chance that that fight might have been stopped because of that cut, and I'm glad it wasn't stopped. But I'm just saying, we seen fights stop for less gruesome cuts. We seen it plenty of times. That was a bad cut. You know, um, Heavyweight division, you just never know. And Fury, especially Fury, he's well aware of this. Wilder too. You know, this is why they pick their opponents. They pick their opponents. Fury doesn't just go back to back with fighting tough fights. He doesn't move that way. You know, you have a couple tune-ups, a couple easy fights, and then he'll fight the big fish. You know, but in between that, he's not going to put himself too much in danger. Same with Wilder. Same with him. He's not going to consistently fight a top 10 fighter. They're not going to do it. AJ's been doing it, and that's why I respect him the most. You know, regardless of how you feel about why the Wilder fight didn't go, whose fault it was and all that, I respect AJ more because of who he consistently faced. They're always a top 10 guy. He can't fight an Oscar Anto Wally. You know, he can't keep rematching guys and fighting guys like well, Diamond Brazil was a contender, but should he have been? I don't think so. You know, he can't fight like some of the guys that both Fury and Wilder, they would have been chewing him out. You know. So anyway, congrats to Alexander Povetkin for the win. You got to give him credit. You know, I know people are looking at it as an upset. He was always dangerous. You know, he will continue to be dangerous. And, you know, and he's going to be, this is not just some fluke. He can win the rematch too. It doesn't matter how much of a beating Dillian Whyte gives him leading up to whoever wins the fight. If you don't win the fight, you don't win. He's always dangerous as long as the fight is going on. If you don't stop him and get him out of here, the longer the fight goes, he's always going to be dangerous. Doesn't matter if Whyte is winning the fight. I knew Whyte was going to win the rounds. I said this yesterday. But if you don't stop Povetkin, he's always dangerous. Especially when he's hurt. He's dangerous. So he can very well lose the rematch as well. You know? And if he goes in there and he's trying to be super cautious, he might lose on the cards. Because Dillian Whyte can't fight a cautious fight. Like, he can't be too cautious. You know? He needs to be aggressive against Povetkin. His punch output needs to be higher. We've never seen Dillian Whyte fight in a rematch against a guy that he lost to. This will be the first time. He's never rematched Anthony Joshua. He had an opportunity to last year. He didn't take it. So mentally, how is he going to be in this rematch against Povetkin? I'm sure he's going to watch the fight. You know, see the mistakes he made, but I don't know. Is he going to switch trainers again? What is he going to do in preparation for the next fight? I don't know. Listen, I think I said enough. Definitely knockout of the year. No, I can't remember the last time I replayed a KO like that over and over and over and over again. I kept watching it. I saw it like 20 times right after the knockout. In shock. Because he was doing so well. I don't know what happened, man. You know, man. Why couldn't Povetkin connect like that in the Michael Hunter fight? You know? Damn. I mean, he landed some big shots too in that fight, but still, damn. Got caught. Anyway, see you guys on the next one. Peace.